So here is AMC. This finishes at $14.52 today. That is down 8.91%. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. So here is TSLA Tesla. This finishes at $829 today. That is down 11.55%. Good. So Tesla was number 2 on StockTwits today. Everyone talking about it. So we will analyze it today. A few reasons as to why the stock may have sold off so much today. First of all, the general market was selling off, especially tech. And we did have earnings and price adjustments yesterday, so let's check that out first. So EPS was $2.54, beating the estimate of $2.26. And revenue was $17.7 billion, beating the estimate of $16.4 billion. So Tesla did beat on the earnings, although that didn't really seem to have too much of an effect on the stock price yesterday. It actually sold off a little bit. And we do have a few price adjustments here. Baird raises to $1,108. JP Morgan raises price target to $325. That's really bearish. Wells Fargo upgrades to $910. Raymond James upgrades to $1,103. Citigroup raises to $313. Also very bearish. Oppenheimer raises to $1,103. Canaccord Genuity upgrades to $1,200. So yeah, and all of the hedge funds upgraded, although a few of them are still really bearish. And in addition to that, we do have some news today, so let's check it out. Tesla drops more than 11% as investors digest new vehicle delays. Key points. Tesla shares dropped by more than 11% in Thursday's trading after the company said it would not produce new model vehicles in 2022 and is not yet working on a $25,000 electric car. Nevertheless, analysts remained bullish on Tesla, pointing to the company's anticipated sales growth this year and its lead position in the battery electric vehicle market, a growing and increasingly competitive industry segment. On a Wednesday earnings call, CEO Elon Musk said the company plans this year to invest in research and development on a humanoid robot to work in the company's factories. Some more news about that. Elon Musk says it's more important for Tesla to make a robot than new car models this year. Key points. The Tesla bot is the most important product that Tesla is developing this year, CEO Elon Musk said Wednesday on a fourth quarter earnings call, putting it ahead of the Cybertruck and other vehicles, including the Semi and the Roadster. The robot, codenamed Optimus, has the potential to be more significant than the vehicle business over time, Musk said. The robot is an example of Musk's showmanship, in which he announces that Tesla is working on exciting products scheduled for years into the future that help to energize employees, customers, and investors. So yeah, good earnings. Institutions upgraded their prices. It does seem bearish that they're not going to produce new model cars, and they're not going to produce a $25,000 car like there were rumors about. But the robot could be bullish news, depending on how you take it. But that's definitely more of a long-term project. So overall, it appears bullish, but the market doesn't seem to agree. The stock is selling off, down 11.55% today. But let's go ahead and analyze here. So first of all, this does look like a possible bear flag in the making. No confirmation just yet. But if this is in fact a bear flag, that would be a bearish indicator that is telling us this stock may continue to sell off. And there is a gap here. Very hard to see. It's a very small gap, but there is a gap up at 820. So that is a bearish indicator that is telling us this stock should come back down to 820 eventually to fill this gap. And this is running up in the aftermarket up to 840. So that would be a bullish indicator that is telling us this stock may run to the upside tomorrow. Good chance it does. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now this is sitting on the support of 830, which it finished at today. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 851, 871, 883, 900, 910, 926, 949, 967, 985, and then 1001. There is resistance above 1001, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 817, 798, 787, 777, 762, 744, 731, 720, 706, and then 697. There is support below 697, but we're not going to discuss that right now. So right now at this current price, 829, the channels to the upside and the downside are pretty wide. so expect significant price action either way this goes. However, if/when this breaks 744 to the downside, the channel starts to narrow, so expect a significant decrease in price action if/when this breaks 744. RSI is currently at 32, so not quite oversold and undervalued, but quickly approaching that. So this could be a good buying opportunity. Not financial advice. And this did 48 million in volume today. Very significant volume, so the sell-off today was confirmed by the volume. Okay, guys, so just my opinion, not financial advice. We are getting some pretty mixed signals here. We have the possible bear flag and the gap up, which are bearish indicators, and the low RSI and the aftermarket action, which are bullish indicators. So short term, pretty difficult to tell where this is going to go. Longer term, it's definitely a good hold. But in my opinion, if you want to go long, I would hold off for a little bit longer. Like I said, there's a gap up at 820, so this should pull back to 820 at least, possibly even further. So I do think there is a bit more downside to go here, although not much. Personally, I would set my buy orders at 798, around 800. There's some pretty strong support there, and I think that would be an excellent entry, $800, which really isn't too far off the current price, but if you're a little bit patient, you should be able to get a better price than 829. And if it pulls back below 800, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, I would not do that, and I would not recommend that. This is already pulled back pretty significantly, down from 1200. And at this point, I think you're too late to the party. Missed a lot of attendees, and there's not too much more downside potential at this point. So going short here would probably be a high risk, low reward play. Just doesn't make too much sense. There's not too many attendees to be made, and you'd be exposing yourself to a lot of upside risk. So I don't really see a point in going short here. I wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't recommend that. So yeah, guys, short term, this should pull back a little bit further, but not too much. And longer term, this is definitely a good buy/hold. So sorry to everyone who lost money in the stock today, but like I said, could be a good buying opportunity coming up here. And good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is TSLA Tesla. So here is AMC. This finishes at $14.52 today. That is down 8.91%. So we've been covering AMC the past few weeks. This was number 3 on StockTwits after Tesla today. So we'll analyze it once again. So there was no real reason to justify this price action today. Just speculation on my part. Seems like more profit taking, more shorting, and just the overall market selling off. So let's go ahead and analyze here. So this does appear to be a possible cup and handle in the making. It looks like the bottom is 1410. Hopefully that holds. Some very strong support there. And it looks like some possible tops could be 2435 or 3090. So that's currently a bullish indicator that is telling us this stock may run back up to 2435 or 3090 to complete the cup. And in the aftermarket here, this is running up to 1465. So that's a bullish indicator that is telling us this stock is likely to run to the upside tomorrow. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 1650 and 1410. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 1650, 1730, 1855, 2035, 2245, 2435, 2535, 2675, 2785, 2895, 3090, and then 3195. There is resistance above 3195, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 1410, 1295, $12, 1090, 985, 890, and then 710. There is support below 710, but we're not going to discuss that right now. So right now at this current price, 1450, the channels to the downside are pretty decently sized, so expect a regular amount of price action if this continues to run to the downside. However, to the upside, the channels are pretty wide, so expect a significant increase in price action if this runs to the upside, up until 2435. So from 1410 to 2435, expect significant price action. RSI is currently at 18, so that is extremely oversold, extremely undervalued, so this could be a good buying opportunity. Not financial advice. And this did 50 million in volume today, which is below average, so the sell-off today was not confirmed by the volume. Just my opinion, not financial advice. This one appears to be pretty straightforward to me. There's a lot of bullish indicators, possible cup and handle, aftermarket action, and low RSI. No bearish indicators and no neutral indicators. So this does appear to be a pretty good buy in the short and long terms right now. It does appear like 1410 is holding up pretty well. Some strong support there. And like I said, after 1410, the channel starts to narrow. So this really shouldn't go too much lower than 1410 if it does. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice, this current price of 1450 is already a really good entry. But personally, I'd set the buy orders to 1410. I think that's a really excellent entry. And if it pulls back below 1410, then you can just average down at these supports that I mentioned before. Not too much more downside potential, a lot of upside potential. So I would support going long at 1410 and lower. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, I would not do that, and I wouldn't recommend that. Should have did that a long time ago, back in the 50s or the 40s. Here at 1450, it's just way too late. Again, a lot of bullish indicators, no bearish indicators, not too much more downside potential, a lot of upside potential. So I really don't see a reason why you would go short here. Doesn't make too much sense. Going short here would be a high risk, low reward play. You already missed your shot. No reason to do that at this point. So I would not do that, and I wouldn't recommend that. Please don't short this, guys. So sorry to everyone who lost money in the stock today, but like I said, could be a good buying opportunity. And good luck to everyone currently in this stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is AMC Entertainment. So here is BBIG Vinco Ventures. This finishes at $2.86 today. That is down 7.14%.
And it's gone.
So we've been discussing BBIG the past couple of weeks here. This was squeezing. Now it looks like the squeeze is over, but this is still trending pretty high up on StockTwits. This was number 4 today after AMC, so we'll discuss it once again. So it looks like we did have some news here, so let's check it out. So the news is that Cryptide, which is a spin-off of BBIG, raises $42 million in common equity and convertible debt. And some more news, Vinco Ventures secured convertible senior notes of $33.3 million expected to be sold to institutional investors for $30 million and mature in 2025. So, in short, the company did a capital raise, pretty much an offering, so that's never really a good thing. That's usually bearish, because you're selling equity, diluting the stock. So, not sure how much of a factor that had to do with the sell-off today, but probably somewhat of a factor. And also, Cryptide, their spin-off, did the same thing. So that probably had somewhat of a factor as well. So yeah, stock finishes down 7.14% today. But let's go ahead and analyze here. So we do have a triple gap down. First gap down is at 950. Second gap down is at 750, and the third gap down is at 585. So all of those are bullish indicators. That is telling us the stock should eventually come back up to fill all of those gaps. Now, it may take a while before this comes back up to 950, but eventually it should. So this does appear to be a possible cup and handle in the making right now. Bottom of the cup appears to be around 285, and the top of the cup appears to be around 535. So that would be a bullish indicator that is telling us the stock may run back up to 535 to complete this cup here. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 295 and 265. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 295, 315, 330, 350, 375, 405, 425, 460, 485, 515, 535, 555, 585, and then $6. There is resistance above $6, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 265, 250, 225, 215, 195, 175, 160, 135, and then the low of 120. So right now with this current price, 285, the channels to the upside and the downside are pretty wide, so expect significant price action either way this goes. RSI is currently at 46, so a little bit below average there, but according to the RSI, this current price of 286 is around fair market value, and this did 26 million in volume today, significant volume, so this sell-off today was confirmed by the volume. Okay guys, just my opinion, not financial advice. In the long term, this does appear to be a really good buy. Like I said, should come back up to 950 eventually. But in the short term, I'm not convinced just yet that this sell-off is over. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice, I would just hold off for right now. It may have bottomed out, to be honest, but again, I'm not convinced just yet. And I would set the buy orders to 225. There's some very strong support at 225, and I think that's an excellent entry. So I don't really like the current entry of 285, but I would support going long at 225 and lower. If it pulls back below 225, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. So while 285 isn't exactly a bad entry, I think you should be able to get better if you're a little bit patient here. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, personally, I would not do that because you already missed a lot of chances Could have went short at 12, 9, even 5 a few days ago. And here at 286, there's not too much more downside potential to go. I would say at most you can make 20% if this does pull back to 225. So it's not exactly a bad play, but pretty risky in my opinion, so I wouldn't even bother with that. Not too much more downside potential and a good amount of upside potential. So I would say going short here would be a high risk, medium reward play. Personally, I wouldn't go for it, but I guess you can. And if you do decide to, then I would say cover at 225 for around a 20% gain. I personally wouldn't do it, so if you want to go short, please do that at your own risk. Wouldn't really recommend it though. So sorry to everyone who lost money in the stock today, but in the long term, this should run back up. A lot of upside potential, and good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is BBIG Vinco Ventures. Thanks everyone for watching today. I appreciate you guys. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. You apes already know, diamond hands to the moon. I'm Ty. This is Smarter Gambling. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.